We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. Welcome to the abyss. This was the low at this time last year. Now, I don't know if the lows are in, but I do know that the FUD is in. There's so much FUD that it's like, laugh or cry. I'm opting for laughing. That's what I'm going to do today. All right. Obviously, we're going to go through the news. We're going to go through what charts there are. I would say the 2-minute version of this, bottoming signals don't work. The good news is the market hasn't gone down anymore. Longer-term charts are debatable. We'll go over that because that's all over Twitter. And we'll discuss the news flow where the news media has been forced to pretty much go 100% FUD. And if this continues, there may not be anything to talk about. I mean, of course, there's something to talk about. But the most important thing to talk about may be politics. We'll go into that. Luckily, we can talk about that here because I can tell you right now, you're not talking about it on YouTube, and you're definitely not talking about it on any like Facebook-related meta platform. So welcome to the only place to talk about anything like that. Okay, Mahet, Alexandra, welcome. Double Ace, SGSG, welcome. Corey, eCrypt, Mikolo, Lee, welcome. Also, LA13, also a reminder, stay with this channel. Check out the subscription. Check out the alerts, rather, in Discord. And if the content works for you, feel free to fill out the feedback form in the description down below. And we dropped it in the comments on the stream. Okay, news. Sorry. It's unbelievable. Okay. So, this guy, rightly so, is reminding everybody that this is the second time the payroll number has been way off. That, in addition to 1 million jobs that didn't get created, that on top of the fact that, people who are born here are not getting jobs. The people who came in here are, and, full-time jobs are being lost and part-time jobs are being gained. What does this add up to? Well, you know what? This is meaningful because I've been saying this. Even the mainstream media is admitting that the Fed has completely screwed up. Okay. That pretty much to me means they have to normalize interest rates, which means interest rates have to go lower. Interest rates will go dramatically lower if there is any type of problem with banks or governments or who knows what. Okay. Interest rates have to normalize, and most likely the dollar has to move lower. The big wild card out there, very simply, is equities, particularly for crypto, right? Like, it's very hard to see how crypto can go massively lower just on its own. Crypto has been just destroyed. So the only way for crypto to go lower is for equities to go down. I would argue the difference between what's going on now and what was going on in, say, 2008 and 2000 is in those cases, the excesses were in the private sector. That's why you had a humongous crash in stocks. In this case, yes, there are 10 overvalued tech stocks, 7 overvalued tech stocks, but the excesses is in the public sector, which means you got to have a problem. It has got to be vented with the currency, but that may not be today's trade, right? Everybody is still fixated on equities going lower Everyone's calling for a crash. I've done similar things in the past. I'm trying to remain neutral because, how much FUD can people tolerate? Honestly, right? Okay. Now, in terms of news, there's a lot of economic data this week headed into the Fed meeting. And of course, the media will do what the media does and say, this is the biggest OPEC report in the history of OPEC reports. This is the biggest CPI report. This is the biggest inflation number. This is the biggest consumer confidence number, because it's all occurring before the long anticipated September Fed meeting, where the Fed gets to stand up at the podium and say, hi, everybody, we have screwed up, right? And who knows? They may continue to screw up by not doing or saying the right thing. Hopefully, in an election year, they get to a point where they say nice things so as not to get blamed for this whole thing being a train wreck. Because, the politicians haven't gotten around to that yet. Now, this, legacy, because, stocks are toppy and there's nothing else to talk about, the bond market strategist like this guy who helped me get my first job in the business, this chart is all over the market. Like, Ferrari is making new all-time highs and Dollar General is going to zero. Ferrari is the dark blue line. The light blue line is Dollar General. And, how long can this go on? This is kind of what they put out there to tell you what you already know, in the sense that there are two economies, right? One economy is filled with people with NVIDIA stock. I saw one guy, Ansem, noting that if everything is so bad, how come the clubs in New York are full? The clubs in New York are filled with guys that have six-figure jobs in NVIDIA stock. That's what it is. Like, that economy has not been hit yet. If it does, we're going into a massive recession. Otherwise, you just have the Dollar General crowd literally just getting erased off the earth, which to me makes an argument for crypto. This is the argument for crypto. Like, you buying Ferrari stock and everyone who stops at Dollar General is destroyed. How long is it going to take for people to figure out that what this graph really means is that we need crypto now more than ever? This could be the one chart market update. Everyone wants to give up. Everyone thinks it's going lower. Everyone's like, I don't have to buy it because I can buy it at lower targets. We'll go over some charts. This is the reason. This is why you crypto. Okay, so everyone, let's put our FUD hats on and go over all the FUD. So here's a guy with a chart and says, ETH is on support, but it's eventually going to 800. How nice. Here's my following. Let's all say the prayer of the sheepdog, okay, before a nasty recession, depression kicks in. The prayer of the sheepdog is something popular in military and police circles where, when I'm trying to get people out of the way of a problem, I recite the prayer of the sheepdog, which basically says, give me strength to protect my sheep. And it's my way of telling my followers to get out of the market or get out of the way. And now my followers are telling themselves to get out of the market and get out of the way by finding the tweet from August of last year in the abyss, like right before the final low, right? This is just what it looks like at like the end. Like, just there's zero hope. Okay. So, okay, this is like the Daily Huddle reporting on the last tweet because they got nothing else to report on, right? 70% collapse is his base case scenario. Okay, now, since we don't have anything else to do, let's bonds. This is my friend Jim Bianco. Let's FUD the Bitcoin ETF. Let's FUD the Bitcoin ETF. So advisors, legacy, like wealth investment managers are holding less than 10%. People who are holding it are losing money. There's more inflows than outflows. Okay. The average trade size is down. All right. So here's how he breaks it down. Total assets in all the spot Bitcoin ETFs are 46 billion, down from 62. And that's the lowest level since February. You've had 1 billion in outflows in the last 8 days after, 12 billion in outflows at the top. Crypto hedge funds are also massively puking. There was 600 million in outflows from current crypto ETFs. Seeing a pattern here. ETH's going to 800. I'm going to puke my ETF. So let's see. Who is the buyer of these ETFs? Small tourist online retail. So self-directed ETF accounts are selling. And wealth advisors never bought the ETF because no one needs to buy the ETF because everything is fine in NVIDIA. No one needs crypto. Everyone is selling. Welcome to the abyss. Take the stream and you put it somewhere, or you take the streams between now and the Fed meeting, or now and whatever happens on the downside, and you say to yourself, this is what it looks like when everybody gives up. And if there is one more heave, there won't be anybody left. There'll be me and the 3 guys who watched this stream in the beginning on the air. You know what I'm saying? It's getting so absurd that, like I said, it literally is laugh or cry. Solana's going to 90. Don't know if you've heard. Is crypto entering a bear market? So, cancel the bull market. I'm saying here's the media. They're like waking up and they're like us, man. Like, okay, what are we going to talk about today? How about the North Korean hackers moving money around on Arkham? They got nothing else to do in Arkham, but I don't know. Track North Korean hackers, which again, to enhance the FUD, are said to be trying to get their hands on BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, the ETF Bitcoin holdings. It's like, guys, really? Okay. I don't know if there's anything to talk about these days except politics. Let me give you some radical notion. Whatever the left is doing, right? There's the left and the right. There's blue and red. It sometimes feels like the blue people are actually trying to either lose the election on purpose or demonstrate the power of all these new people that have come in the country who are going to be able to vote. You don't have to like it or not like it. They got driver's licenses. They can vote. That's it. So in many ways, they're trying to lose the election on purpose with some of the things that they're doing. And it just feels like, hardcore left-wing organizations they're like doubling down. Like, look at this Netflix thing. Like, I don't know how, if you looked at like who's got the worst reputation these days, I would say Bill Gates and Fauci are at the top. Like, Fauci was the COVID guy. Bill Gates is, trying to make you eat bugs and buying farmland and doing all this stuff that is just bizarre, especially in Africa. Like, the guy, Kennedy says this guy created a famine in Africa, right? Again, they keep pushing this stuff, and I think people keep pushing back. So it's some kind of thought experiment. Like, how far can we push whatever ideology this is? And I bring this up on a crypto stream because, again, even if it's the abyss, the harder they push this stuff, the bigger the case for crypto is. Okay. The orange man is going, you know what? We're going to fix the Justice Department. Kennedy gives him new talking points every day. Like, how many lawsuits got filed against these guys? How many lawsuits did Gensler file? I mean, Gensler was so out of control, and he still has his job. Again, are they trying to lose on purpose? Harris could go to a Bitcoin convention and just say, hey, we're firing Gensler, and possibly change people's mind, but they're not doing that. I love this. Politico. Everyone's mad inside crypto. The political civil war. Dude, what political civil war? Are you with Gensler? Oh, okay, yeah, you're out. Oh, are you with Gensler? Okay, let me write a gigantic check to whoever isn't with Gensler. Like I said, the news is now stand up. Now, this is a positive interaction. This is a GAN-based chart that says buy 2023 and sell 2026. 2026 may be when you get to Michael Saylor's gigantic target in Bitcoin. Again, I can't come up with a reason to sell crypto. I also can't come up with a reason to come off the argument that the next cycle is one of a gradual investment cycle where things move higher in a stair step because people finally embrace the Bitcoin ETF. Because as you can see now, it's at the abyss. No one wants it. It's terrible. Blah, 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 blah. That's the bottom. Whether it's 53K is the bottom or 48K is the bottom, whatever FUD that's out there, when there's this much FUD, somewhere in this mix is a bottom. Whether it's now, whether it's after the Fed, I just don't know. But you see this type of FUD at lows is the point. Okay, Japan's largest electric company to use renewable energy to mine Bitcoin. They got problems with the yen over there. They got problems in general. I'm actually surprised that the Japanese haven't gone full tilt crypto, like Sony embracing, Solana or some other crypto for gaming or payment systems. I mean, Trump is right. Trump is going to create a race for the whole crypto industry. Everybody has been trying to FUD the industry. Now I think people are going to start competing for it. Okay. So the Orange Man says, yeah, really, go ditch the dollar. Please go ahead. Make my day. One thing you have to remember about this guy is, when he was young, he was kind of the pretty boy Wall Street liaison between the Atlantic City real estate community, aka the mob, and Wall Street. That's what he did when he was a kid. And, he never lost that kind of touch or attitude. So, if you wind up on the wrong side of this guy, whether you like him or you don't like him, like Putin's got a new picture every day, like such and such country joins BRICS so they can get a nice picture with Putin. Yeah, okay. Well, the Orange Man is like, good luck selling your goods in the United States if you go do that. Again, the debates Tuesday, all this economic data is coming out. When you look at what's going on, it's like they're trying to lose the election on purpose. In other words, in order to have a real communist revolution, you've got to have a king to overthrow. No one's talking about this. Now, Ray Dalio has talked about social disorder, so it's not a non-financial topic. Okay? Social disorder is bullish crypto. It is. It is. And even if there isn't any social disorder, if this guy comes in power and they start buying Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset, that's bullish crypto. I don't see a politically bearish case for crypto unless, Harris really does have 20 million immigrant votes in her pocket, to be honest. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Oh, okay. Yeah. In Scotland, if you say the wrong thing, you're going to jail. And the person who wrote Harry Potter is protesting. Again, how far can they take it? And is that a reason for crypto? In other words, If you have Bitcoin on your new iPhone and you can use that to pay for things and you're outside the banking system, are you a free person, true or false? True. Okay, so Elon Musk wants to make sure that he has the money for all of his electric cars and spaceships, which comes from the government, by creating an efficiency task force where, they are just going to eliminate massive amounts of government waste. And, this is a good opportunity to talk about something that the media will eventually pick up on, is that, when you cut government spending, which has to happen, you will have a massive slowdown in the economy. In other words, Trump has already figured out, without saying it, that if you stop the insane spending that they're doing, you're going to slow the economy down. Because that's the only thing keeping the economy propped up. That's what's keeping inflation propped up. So if you cut government spending, interest rates are going back to 2%. Period. Because inflation will go to zero. The mainstream media has not figured this out yet, right? All this talk about Elon and government efficiency, yeah, they're going to have to do what Reagan did back in the 80s, which is cut spending massively. And that slows the economy down, which brings rates down, which sends Bitcoin to the freaking moon. It may hurt equities, but crypto has already decoupled from equities. You've already got stocks up and crypto going to zero, according to the stupid crypto media. The decoupling next year is going to work in our favor. No one gets this. Okay, Michael Saylor going on CNBC saying, what's the matter with you people? What's the matter with you people, right? Kennedy reminding everybody that, this new Republican alliance has flipped everything around, right? Democrats are now acting like what Republicans used to be. And then Republicans have got this whole party of the people type thing going on. And this is relevant because, Kennedy is in this great position where Trump can go out and talk and say certain things, and Kennedy can go out and say certain things. So it's almost like you got two presidents, two presidential type guys putting ideas out there on regular, essentially convincing people that, hey, come on over with us. Now, again, that's great for Bitcoin. And, like I said, the thing that's funny is, you may see this on a debate on Tuesday, is the left trying to lose this election on purpose? Because if Harris falls apart on the debate stage, you have to wonder what it is they're doing. Now, just for laughs, you also have to wonder how you could have a president and a vice president who can't form complete sentences. Like, it's one thing if one guy gets sick and someone else takes over, but we elected two people to the White House who can't talk. Don't you think that's a little weird? Like, did they get, is it a vaccine side effect, or did everybody just party in the White House and got a little foggy? I mean, for real, you can't make this stuff up. But when you look at it, you're like, I got to buy crypto. I just look at this stuff and go, oh yeah. Like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why am I not upset? Why am I not crying? I'm freaking out. Kind of like last year, I was like, oh my God. I mean, there's some, oh my God, going on with me, when you look at these charts, but I'm just not doing that. I'm not doing that this year because, the whole world is telling you that you got to buy crypto. Oh, by the way, Solana's going to 90, but the phone's coming out in March. We need an alternative. We need alternatives in the world. 3 cryptos on Motley Fool. So that the whole world has gone to hell in a handbasket, or the only bullish thing you hear about crypto is on a stocks website. You know what I'm saying? It's all over. So they got SUI. They got, the artificial intelligence super token and Toncoin, which is beat up. We'll take a look at that. Everybody's forgotten about that, right? Okay, let's see who else is here, right? We have Brandon, Mr. Relentless, and Zapatas, Miklo, Ecrypt, the people who were on the stream in the abyss. Okay, PowerPoint. Once upon a time, there was this show called In Search of, the guy that plays Mr. Spock, the original guy. This is the In Search of a relevant chart that tells us something. Okay, so here's Toncoin, and Toncoin got down to its previous fourth wave. So, this is not a great chart, but it does look like Toncoin here has made a bottom on Luxalgo. It took out this, bottom of this wave, stopped everyone out, made it look awful, trapped all these longs. Folks, if Toncoin actually manages to hold it together, there was a lot of FUD about Telegram, and Telegram basically gave the French government what they wanted in order to keep this guy out of jail. Now, that's not great for free speech, but I don't really know why everybody was all bearish and selling this stuff. I mean, obviously there was the negative PR event, and this market does kind of suck. But you know what, people? This could be like a sleeper. There are a couple of altcoins out there that could be real sleepers, right? Like the AI super token and SUI and things like that. So, there are altcoins out there where if they try to hit this market again, that you got to be it could be like a no-brainer if the market is down again. This almost looks like a no-brainer at current levels. But, I don't want to say these things and then have the market vaporize in my face. So Solana is making a bullish downward sloping wedge. So, bears or selling or whatever is keeping Solana artificially depressed. That's what this downward sloping wedge means, because Solana has just gone down and it's been this just sits there. Now, of course, I'll take that over, dramatic downside, but if this thing plays out, I don't know. Solana could go down here to 117. Solana has given you multiple opportunities to buy it at 120. It may give you one more, because when Solana comes down here and then eventually reverses, it's just going to make it all the more powerful. So if they take it down again, it's just going to make the ensuing rally sharper. Now, on a 3-day chart, so if you start looking at higher time frames, so to keep the Elliott wave simple, you see A, B, C. And then that doesn't create a new trend. So this is the consolidation, and then a new trend should start. But a new trend didn't start, so you get what's called an X wave, meaning welcome to the nebulous, weird, sideways world in Elliott wave terms. Now, recently, Luxalgo is building some kind of indicator for me that tries to pick a bottom after you see an X wave. But the reality is, when you see these X waves, it means more correcting, which is what you're getting now. Now, I don't know if it means you take out this low. My little indicator off this X wave has 90. I really hope we're not looking at that. But the market is doing what you would expect it to do under these circumstances, meaning it's doing more correcting. That's all. Right? In Bitcoin, you have two of these X waves on a 3-day chart. You have support between 49 and 48. Folks, I just cannot believe that Bitcoin in the low 50s is not like a Michael Saylor generational buy. That's where the ETF came out. 40 something or 50 something was where, Bitcoin was before the whole FTX mess. I mean, what is the point of getting bearish at these levels unless the Fed doesn't cut rates? There isn't any. Now, there is a chart that says more correcting is possible. Everybody has a chart that says more correcting is possible. I mean, here's ETH. So it's all right, everyone's doing ETH FUD. So, some guys are looking for sub 2K. That's where the market was in August of last year. And this whole ETH is dead thing, this whole Web3 is dead thing, it's so stupid, but it's so pervasive, right? Everyone has to do a redraw. I'm doing this because Luxalgo has support at 1900. It was supposed to stop ETH at 2400, and it's not. Okay. So everybody has to make a chart now that shows, oh, well, when it goes down again, this is where it'll go. It's an assumption that it goes down there on everyone's part. But, okay, so that's the market update. I'm getting breaking news on a video here. I'm not sure what the video is about, but, it's it's just, the orange man has to restore sanity to the world, which is funny because everyone has always viewed him as insane, right? The insane guy is now the sane guy, at least in terms of like free market economics. Okay, so let's wrap this up here. Everyone is bearish. Okay, I don't know if the market's going to cooperate with related price action. The Fed has to cut rates. They absolutely have to cut rates. Politics will most likely take center stage. Politics will take center stage. And I think what all the politics is going to tell you is all the reasons why you crypto. And I think the most important thing to remember is that whether you get Solana at 140 or you get Solana at 90, this is a time period where you have to remember this is why we crypto. No matter what happens, right? I mean, this time last year, I was reciting prayers, telling everybody to get out of the way 10 days before the bottom. Well, I'm not doing that this time. I'm not. I'm trying to be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more positive, a little more upbeat. Don't forget, this is why we crypto. We'll see you next time.